Hello and welcome back, Transformer TCG fans and enthusiasts. Okay, and let's get into this. What we're going to be looking at, not base cards, we're going to be looking at my original file for Beast War battle cards. So a lot of these are old hat. There's really nothing new here, but there's been a lot of changes, some textural changes, some faction changes and whatnot. Factions where they need to be, taking faction cards off where they don't need to be, etc., etc. So we're going to start at the top. There's 33 cards in total here. And if you're new to the game and you're wanting to play with Beast War characters, whether they're my Beast War characters or someone else's Beast War characters off the custom page or ARC or ATP, whatever, you will need some of these because, well, let's start. Berserker. Berserker is not too dissimilar from full. Is it full throttle, full automatic? I forgot the name of the card. Double orange star card, but this is a double blue star card. Choose one of your characters, full loadout. So Berserker is similar, but choose one of your characters. You may play a blue weapon, an orange armor on it, and it has +1 to attack until end of turn. So when you play Berserker, you're going to be able to get those two upgrades in play, not three, not weapon, armor, and utility. And it doesn't matter what pip color as far as I just said this stupid card name as far as the official card goes, but you know, this one's a little more specific, plus it's going to give it just one more attack until end of turn while Berserker is actually played. So that's not going to happen again unless you happen to actually draw it again to be able to play it yet again. But it's kind of the opposite there. A little something going for it. Books of Primus 1 and 2. Wow. Okay, originally these are both utility cards. They actually had, one was +2 to attack, the other one was +2 to defense. I was told, no, if you can't do that on utility unless it's a star card. I'm like, okay. So I've changed it. So the Books of Primus number 1 is a blue pip utility with +1 to attack. Now in the middle of it, we have, when this is on an Autobot, it gets +1 to defense. While this needs to be while, not when. Oh crap. Okay, so I've gotten that fixed on here. So while this is on an Autobot, it gets +1 to defense. So Autobots are going to get 1 to attack, 1 to defense. Maximals are going to be able to get 2 to attack with Books of Primus number 1. While this is on a Decepticon or Predacon, it has -1 defense. So the Decepticons and Predacons are still going to be able to get the +1 to attack, but it's going to bring down their defense. Books of Primus number 2 is very similar, except it's not a blue. It's an orange pip card. While this is on an Autobot, it has +1 to attack. While this is on a Decepticon or Predacon, it gets +1 for defense. So they're going to get actually total 2 defense. While this is on a Maximal, it has -1 attack. So there's that. Now, the Books of Primus number 1, there are 3 different types of cards. There's an Autobot faction card and a Maximal faction card. For Books of Primus number 2, there's an Autobot faction, a Decepticon faction, and a Predacon faction. So, boom, there you go. Eat your heart out. Brainfreeze was originally 3 years ago my idea of a Beast War version of Brainstorm. This is a white pip. It is a star card and rare for what it is. Originally I was trying to do, you play an upgrade, you may play another upgrade, kind of like Brainstorm. Somebody said, oh gosh, that's too strong, it needs a star. And I'm thinking, really? And so I'm like, if I'm going to put a star on here, I'm going to add something different. So you may draw 2 and play another upgrade. So if you played an upgrade for turn, you may draw 2 and play another upgrade. Bruteforce. Bruteforce is basically step forward, but with maximals. Diabolical Monologue is basically pep talk, but it's only going to, it has a green pip, so you can get it on the flip, but you can only play this near the end of the game when you only have 1 character on the battlefield. And still, it's draw 2 cards. So it's got that going for it, but you're only going to be able to draw 2 when you have 1 character on the battlefield. So if you're playing casual, you have Brainstorm. Brainstorm isn't being banned. I mean, pep talk, excuse me. Brainstorm. You can play a Brainstorm, you can play a Diabolical Monologue, and a pep talk all at the same time when you have 1 character left on the battlefield, you can end up drawing. For Ducky, if you're lucky, is a star uncommon card with 3 pip colors, white, orange, and black, while this is on a Predacon Megatron, whose, mine, or anyone else's. And it doesn't have to be Transmetal or regular or anything, just Megatron, and that is a Predacon. And I've got 2. I've got the original, and I've got 3 actually. I've got the original Megatron, I have the Transmetal Megatron, and I've got the Transmetal 2 Megatron. Anyone else that has happened to make a Megatron out of those funky drawings or whatever, because all mine are screenshots, then yeah, you could. This Ducky can go on them too. It's not going to do anything. There's no attack, no defense. It's just he has tough too. But it's really nice for the pip colors, for the white, orange, and black pip colors. Our Energon Surge, blank pip, uncommon, do 2 damage to an enemy in bot mode. This is not Bolt of Lightning. This is Energon Surge. So I don't think that the star is necessary, because you just can't do 2 damage to anybody. They're going to have to be in bot mode. So if you think this needs a star, let me know. We can add it. Fizzle, white pip, secret action. When one of your characters 10 stars or higher defends, reduce the attacker's pierce to 0. So another card trying to, and that's total pierce. When I say pierce, I mean all pierce. I don't think the word total needs to be there, but if I need to add it, let me know. Freeze Ray is a black pip upgrade weapon with +1 to attack. It is a rare for what this is, even though at its core, it looks like it doesn't do much. But when the equipped character battles, each white pip either player flips for battle is a blue pip instead. So it's taking away the white pip double flip from you and your opponent. Basically, it's nullifying the white pips. They're now blue instead. 7 minutes, heavy cover, white pip, secret action. When your starting team is only Autobots and or Maximals, and one of your characters defends that is 10 stars or less, reduce the attacker's pierce to 0. So here's another one like Fizzle, which, you know, when one of your characters 10 stars or higher defends, so they have to be, you know, higher than 10 stars, you're reducing the enemy's pierce by 10. Heavy cover, it has to be when you're playing either all Autobots or all Maximals, and one of your characters that is 10 stars or less, you're able to reduce the attacker's pierce to 0. Holographic Field is similar to something, is it Force Field? That may be what I'm thinking of. White pip armor, the upgraded character has stealth while tapped or untapped, while this is on a Predacon, reduce the total attack damage by 2. So yeah, I guess you could say sturdy 2. The IR perimeter park sensor is a Predacon card. It is a green pip. Your opponents, Maximals or Autobots can't use stealth. So there's that. So they can, Autobots and Maximals can still wear the holographic field that we just went over. It's only going to reduce total damage if they're Predacons. So if the opponent is using a holographic field and you play an IR perimeter park sensor and they're using Maximals or Autobots, then yeah, the stealth is gone. Leap of Faith is Leap of Faith. Mail Order Matrix. Well, let's look at Matrix of Leadership first. We're going to go down one, which was basically the Matrix of Leadership, except you can also put this on Maximals. Put on Maximals and Autobots only. So I have an Autobot version of this. I have a Maximal version of this because I'm opening up to another faction. That's all it is. It's the same text, same names. You can still only have 3 of the same card in your deck at a time. So no, you cannot have 6 of these. You can only have 3 of these. Whether it's the official or this one, you can only have 3. Put on Maximals and Autobots only. So going over that, Mail Order Matrix, which is a black and blue pip action card. Come on. Well, you may move a Matrix of Leadership from an Autobot or Maximal on your team and put it on a Decepticon or Predacon leader you control and still use the utility's ability this turn. So what does this mean? Yeah, it's a rare for what it is because your leader may only be, if you're playing with mixed factions, your leader may only be a Decepticon or Predacon. If you don't have a leader and you have a Pterosaur on your team and you have that stratagem, is it the stratagem or did I put it on his card? I can't remember which. Then, boom, he is the leader. Well, you can't put a matrix on him, though. So you can put it on one of your Predacons or Maximals, get it into play, play mail order matrix. Pterosaur is a leader, or someone else is a leader, maybe with floating throne, so to speak, and have a floating throne on Decepticon or Predacon. Move with mail order matrix, you're able to move the matrix of leadership to one of them, and for that turn, while this is in play, you're going to be able to get the ability off the actual card without it being on an Autobot leader, but only for that turn only. So there's that. New designs is new designs, new packaging, same product. Is white-black secret action. When one of your characters defends, your defender has focus 1 and tough 1. This used to be focus 2. I've changed it so your defender has focus 1 and tough 1. Piercing Energon Dagger, I have changed it. We're at number 21. We're doing pretty good. It's a standard blue pip 2 +2 to attack weapon, except we have a couple of different things on here. And we have looked at this a few times before. I've changed it just slightly because in play it seems pretty strong, even though it's not as strong as a fusion board. Fusion board is +3 to attack, 3 pierce. Once it's used, you scrap it. But let's look at this real quick. While the upgraded character is attacking a Decepticon, the upgraded character has +1 to attack. So if you're attacking a Decepticon, it's +3 to attack. While the upgraded character is attacking a plane, the upgraded character has Pierce 2. So if you're attacking it, so after the equipped character attacks a Decepticon plane, scrap this card. So once you get up to 3 to attack and Pierce 2, it gets scrapped. If you haven't attacked a Decepticon plane specifically, you get to keep the Piercing Energon Dagger. So that's what I've done there. It is a rare for what it is. So let's keep going. Polarities, orange pips, secret action. When one of your characters defends, the attacker's flipped black pips are now blue pips until end of turn. So you're basically taking de-piercing them from the flipping side. This is not going to stop Pierce if they have Pierce on their character, Pierce from their upgrades, or Pierce from a base card. So there is that. It's only flipping Pierce. Resolute Valor. Black-blue cannot be put on Preds or Decepticons. It's going to give anybody wearing this other than them bold 2, since one of the opposing factions of this is maximal to the Preds because of the theme going on here. This is a maximal card only. I did not make this an Autobot card also, but it is basically unflinching courage for the most part. So you can't put it on just Decepticons. You also can't put this on Predacons. That's the addition here. So should this still also be named Unflinching Courage? Kind of like I did with Matrix of Leadership? Let me know. Rollerblades, a star card because it's got a white, black, and a black. It's an upgrade utility with +1 to attack and +1 to defense. Put on Alt 2 modes only. So Rollerblades can only go on triple changers or something that's at least a triple changer. And it can only be introduced into the game on Alt 2 modes only. So there's that. It's an uncommon for what it is. It's a nice utility. But the star is basically there for the pip colors. So there's that. And that's a close-up of the rollerblades that comes flipped out when Transmetal Megatron Beast Wars was in his... Well, never mind. Ruler of the Island. The Ruler of the Island was originally a stratagem idea. This is now a blue pip utility with the question mark. That's not needed. Well, I like I think it's cool looking, so it's there. This is a star card because, wait, there's more. This is a counter upgrade. So we can put counters on this through my counter cards. I took the D counter off of this. I'd forgotten all about this. Put on Predacons or Maximals only. Autobots and Decepticons cannot be the Ruler of the Island because it doesn't fit that theme. So when the upgraded character attacks, put a counter on this upgrade. So yes, you pick your attacker, choose your defender, tap to attack. boom, you can already put a counter on it. Sorry, I hit my desk. You can already have a counter on this for +1 to attack from the utility side. So this adds +1 to attack for each counter on this. After this is attacked with a maximum of 4 counters, scrap this card. So there's that. Can I keep 3 counters on this and get 3 to attack and not have it scrapped? Absolutely, yes. Put your counters on other upgrades if you want to, but and you will get 3 to attack off this utility. That's why it has a star on there. Shell Shocked has been updated and changed a little bit. It's still a blue pip secret action after one of your characters defends. Do 1 damage to the attacker for every black pip they flip? No. It's still a star card though, because it's still pretty strong. Do 1 damage to the attacker for every 2 black pips they flip for battle. So, you know, for every black pip they flip, for 1 black pip of getting back damage on them just seemed too much, especially if they're having a lot of bold and they have a strong pierce deck. That might be too strong. So I thought, you know, if say they flip 6 black pips, then yeah, that's 6 damage. That's too much. So it's now going to be 3 damage instead of 6. And maybe I should say round down. I might add that on here. It may need that. So that is Shell Shocked. It's been updated. It's still a very strong card. When I introduced this idea on the custom page probably 3 years ago, people were like, wow, cool, I like that. And now I realized the error of my ways. And I'm thinking this is too strong. Not only does it does need a star card, as someone said, because originally it didn't. Instead of for every 1 black pip, it's now 2. Surreptitious Subterfuge, blue pip action. This is basically underhanded tactics, but with Predacon traits instead of Decepticon traits. The Transmetal 2 driver, star card, orange beast trait, blue and green. While this is on a Predacon, Maximal, Autobot, or Decepticon with at least 3 modes, it has +1 to attack and now 2 to defense as well from a utility side, from the Transmetal 2 driver. So only triple changers are going to be able to truly get this. Okay, I mean, it can go on anybody and still get the +1 to defense off a utility. Of course, the main star power here is all the different pip colors, and you can get this on the flip. And because while this is on any of those 4 traits, so it's not going to help Quintessons, or what is it? No, Wreckers is a trait, not a faction. So while it's on these 4 factions, all this is going to be able to happen. Being it a star card, you're probably going to have 1 of these in your deck. But because of the factions on here, we have a Predacon version, we have a Maximal version, we have an Autobot version, and a Decepticon Transmetal 2 driver version. And with the colors on there, it makes it really look really cool. Tri-Cessation is pretty much, it's just pincer movement for Predacons. Ultra Reliance is basically confidence with Maximals. Universal Network Access is, well, universal network access. Valiant Determination, 2 blues and a star, is basically heroic heroic resolve. Valiant Determination is basically heroic resolve. Valiant Synergy is basically heroic team up for Maximals. And like I said, Valiant Determination is basically heroic resolve for Maximals instead of Autobots. So, you know, using a lot of synonyms here for doing the exact same things that Wizards cards were doing for Autobots and Decepticons, but now with similar names but different for Maximals and Predacons. But while also adding a whole lot of new different cards here as well. Yay, got under 20 minutes. We'll see you next time. If you haven't already, throw scraplets at that like button. And why did I do this? Well, because I made a whole lot of Beast War characters. There was a want for that way back like 3 years ago. People were like, oh, and has anyone done Beast War characters? And some were. They didn't do them all. I ended up going through and screenshotting a whole bunch through Tubi or YouTube or whatever, and I found some better resolution and did a whole lot better images, and I've lost that file, but I can probably recreate it as still pretty good. I do have those characters out there on the Dropbox. These should be upgraded, and it should be on the Dropbox by the time that this video drops. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't have just a great day, have a blessed day, and as always, Autobots, flip out, and let's roll for it.